My beloved child, don't skip this message. Listen carefully because these next few moments may bring peace to a heart that has been carrying burdens for far too long. If you have been feeling tired, discouraged, overwhelmed, or emotionally exhausted, stay till the end. This message is for you. God says, I see every struggle you have faced. I see every tear you never showed anyone. I see every night you lay awake wondering when things would finally get better. And tonight, I want you to remember that you do not have to carry everything alone. For a long time, you have been trying to stay strong. You have continued moving forward even when your energy felt depleted. You have smiled when you wanted to cry. You have encouraged others while secretly needing encouragement yourself. You have carried responsibilities, worries, and fears that few people truly understand. Yet God says, my beloved child, I have not forgotten you. I have seen every step you have taken, even the difficult ones. Listen carefully because this changes everything. Healing does not always begin with a dramatic moment. Sometimes healing begins when you finally allow yourself to rest. Sometimes healing begins when you stop fighting every battle by yourself. Sometimes healing begins when you release the belief that you must carry every burden alone. God says, tonight, I want you to lay down the weight you have been carrying. There is someone listening right now who feels exhausted. Not only physically, but emotionally. You have been carrying disappointment, stress, worry, and uncertainty for so long that it has become difficult to remember what peace feels like. God says, I know what you are facing. I know what has been hurting your heart. I know the prayers you have whispered when nobody else was listening. Stay till the end because what happens next may touch your heart deeply. Imagine setting down a heavy bag you have carried for miles. Imagine the relief that comes when the weight is no longer on your shoulders. God says, that is what I want for you tonight. I want you to remember that you were never meant to carry every burden by yourself. My beloved child, healing is often a journey. It can involve rest, support from loved ones, wise decisions, professional care when needed, and patience with yourself along the way. God's message is not that you must pretend everything is perfect. God's message is that you can move forward one step at a time, with hope rather than despair. Listen carefully because this next revelation is powerful. The wounds people see are not always the deepest ones. Sometimes the deepest wounds are invisible. They are the disappointments you never spoke about. The fears you kept hidden. The heartbreaks you quietly survived. Yet God says, even the wounds others cannot see matter to me. There were moments when you wondered whether things would ever improve. Moments when you felt alone in your struggles. Moments when hope seemed distant. Yet God says, do not measure your future by your current circumstances. Difficult seasons do not last forever. Growth often happens quietly, even when you cannot immediately see it. Stay till the end because this changes everything. Tonight, instead of focusing only on what is wrong, take a moment to recognize what is still possible. There is still hope. There is still growth ahead. There are still people who care about you. There are still opportunities waiting to be discovered. There are still reasons to keep moving forward. My beloved child, Heaven's message tonight is simple. Be kind to yourself. Rest when you need rest. Seek support when you need support. Take care of your body, your mind, and your spirit. Allow yourself to heal one day at a time. You do not have to rush the process. Listen carefully because this is the most important part. God says, you are valuable. You are loved. Your struggles do not define your worth. Your difficult season is not your entire story. Keep going. Keep believing. Keep taking one step at a time. And here is the beautiful truth God wants you to carry in your heart tonight. Healing is not always about returning to who you were before the pain. Sometimes healing is about becoming stronger, wiser, and more compassionate because of what you have overcome. Sometimes healing is discovering that even after difficult chapters, there is still hope for new beginnings. So take these next 5 minutes and breathe. Release what you cannot control. Appreciate the progress you have made. Remember that you have survived challenges before. Remember that growth is possible. Remember that you are not alone. The ending of this message is not fear. The ending is hope. The ending is not despair. The ending is encouragement. And the ending is a reminder that every new day brings another opportunity to move toward peace, strength, and healing. Stay hopeful, my beloved child. Your story is still being written, and there are still beautiful chapters ahead. My beloved child, don't skip this message. Listen carefully because heaven is continuing what began in the first chapter. If you are still here, then perhaps your heart needed these words more than you realize. Perhaps you have been carrying a burden so heavy that even when you smile, a part of you still feels tired. Stay till the end because God wants to remind you of something important tonight. Healing often begins long before you can see the results. For a long time, you have been focused on what still hurts. You have been looking at the problems that remain unsolved, the prayers that seem unanswered, and the struggles that continue to test your strength. Yet God says, my beloved child, do not overlook how far you have already come. There were battles you thought would destroy you, yet you survived them. There were nights you thought you would never make it through, yet here you are. There were moments when you felt completely lost, yet somehow you found the strength to take another step. Listen carefully because this changes everything. Healing is not always instant. Sometimes it happens quietly, little by little. A burden becomes slightly lighter. A fear loses some of its power. A wound hurts a little less than it did before. These changes may seem small, but they matter. Every step forward matters. Every moment of growth matters. There is someone listening right now who feels frustrated because they are not where they want to be. You compare your journey to others. You wonder why your progress feels slower than expected. Yet God says, do not measure your healing against another person's timeline. Your journey is your own. Growth takes time. Recovery takes time. Transformation takes time. Stay till the end because what happened next changed everything. One day, a person who felt discouraged looked back at their life and noticed something surprising. The problems had not disappeared overnight. The challenges had not vanished instantly. Yet they were stronger than before. Wiser than before. More resilient than before. The healing had been happening all along, even when they could not clearly see it. My beloved child, God reveals that some of the most important healing happens inside your heart and mind. It happens when you stop blaming yourself for every setback. It happens when you stop carrying guilt that does not belong to you. It happens when you begin speaking to yourself with the same kindness you offer to others. Listen carefully because this next revelation is powerful. There are wounds caused by disappointment. Wounds caused by rejection. Wounds caused by words that should never have been spoken. These wounds can stay hidden for years. Yet God says, the pain you carry does not have to become your identity. What happened to you is part of your story, but it is not the end of your story. There were moments when you felt forgotten. Moments when you wondered if anyone understood your struggle. Yet heaven reveals that even in those moments, growth was taking place. Strength was being developed. Wisdom was being gained. Compassion was being deepened. The very things that challenged you were also helping shape you. Stay till the end because this changes everything. Tonight, God is not asking you to pretend that life is easy. God is not asking you to ignore your struggles. Instead, He is asking you to remember that healing is possible. Progress is possible. New beginnings are possible. The chapter you are living right now is not the final chapter. My beloved child, there is wisdom hidden within this message. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate small victories. Rest when you need rest. Seek help when you need help. Allow yourself the grace to heal at your own pace. Every step forward, no matter how small, is still a step forward. Listen carefully because the story is approaching a powerful turning point. The burden you have been carrying does not have to stay this heavy forever. The fear that has followed you does not have to control your future forever. The sadness you have been feeling does not have to define the rest of your life. Something is changing. Hope is returning. Strength is growing. Peace is slowly finding its way back into places that once felt broken. The healing may not happen all at once, but it is happening. But the most beautiful revelation is still ahead. In the next chapter, God reveals the blessing hidden within your struggle, the unexpected strength that has been developing inside you, and the powerful moment when healing begins turning into hope for the future. Stay till the end, my beloved child. The best part of this message has not yet been revealed. My beloved child, don't skip this message. Listen carefully because you have reached a powerful part of this journey. If you are still here, then perhaps your heart has been searching for reassurance. Perhaps you have been waiting for a sign that things can improve. Stay till the end because God wants to remind you tonight that some of the greatest transformations begin in seasons when it feels like nothing is changing at all. For a long time, you may have viewed your struggles as obstacles. You looked at your challenges and wondered why they were happening. You looked at your setbacks and questioned whether you would ever move beyond them. Yet God says, my beloved child, what if some of the things you saw as barriers were also building strength inside you? What if the difficult season carried lessons that could not have been learned any other way? Listen carefully because this changes everything. Every challenge you have survived has revealed something about your character. Every difficult moment has shown you strengths you did not know you possessed. Every setback has taught lessons about patience, perseverance, and resilience. You may not have chosen these experiences, but they have helped shape who you are becoming. There is someone listening right now who feels worn down by life's demands. You have carried responsibilities that others may never fully understand. You have faced disappointments that left lasting marks on your heart. You have fought battles quietly while continuing to show up for the people around you. God says, I see your effort. I see your courage. I see the strength it took to keep going. Stay till the end because what happened next changed everything. One day, a person who felt overwhelmed began reflecting on their journey. They realized that while the circumstances were not always easy, they had grown tremendously. They had become more compassionate, more understanding, more capable of handling challenges. The very experiences they once wished to avoid had contributed to their growth. My beloved child, God reveals that healing is not only about leaving pain behind. Healing is also about discovering wisdom within the experience. It is about recognizing how far you have come. It is about acknowledging your progress, even when the progress feels small. Listen carefully because this next revelation is powerful. The blessing hidden within your struggle may not be obvious right now. Sometimes blessings arrive as lessons. Sometimes blessings arrive as strength. Sometimes blessings arrive as new perspectives that help you see life differently. What feels difficult today may one day become part of the wisdom you share with others. There were moments when you doubted yourself. Moments when you questioned your ability to move forward. Yet heaven reveals that doubt and growth often exist side by side. Many people grow stronger long before they feel stronger. Many people make progress long before they recognize it. Stay till the end because this changes everything. God says, stop focusing only on what remains unfinished and begin appreciating the progress already made. You have learned lessons. You have overcome obstacles. You have survived challenges. These achievements matter, even if they are not always visible to others. My beloved child, there is wisdom hidden within this message. Every day you continue moving forward is evidence of resilience. Every time you choose hope instead of giving up, you demonstrate courage. Every time you continue trying despite setbacks, you reveal strength. Listen carefully because the story is approaching its most beautiful turning point. The healing journey is no longer only about recovering from what hurt you. It is becoming about embracing what is possible. It is becoming about recognizing your value. It is becoming about building a future that is not defined solely by past struggles. Something is awakening inside you. Confidence is beginning to return. Hope is beginning to grow. Peace is beginning to replace fear. The burden may not disappear overnight, but it does not have to control the rest of your story. My beloved child, God says, you are stronger than you think. You have survived more than you realize. And the future still contains opportunities, growth, and blessings that you cannot yet see. But the greatest revelation is still ahead. In the final chapter, God reveals the beautiful purpose behind this season, the hope waiting beyond the struggle, and the joyful ending that transforms healing into gratitude, strength into confidence, and today's challenges into tomorrow's testimony. Stay till the end, my beloved child. The best part of this journey is still to come. My beloved child, if you have stayed until this moment, then listen carefully. This is the final chapter. This is where the pain begins to give way to peace, where the struggle reveals its lessons, and where the healing journey reaches a beautiful ending filled with hope, gratitude, and renewed strength. Stay till the end because God wants you to hear this truth: your story is not ending in defeat. Your story is still unfolding. For so long, you have carried burdens that felt too heavy. You have faced challenges that tested your patience. You have experienced moments when you wondered if things would ever improve. Yet through every difficult season, you continued moving forward. Maybe not perfectly. Maybe not quickly. But you kept going. And God says, my beloved child, never underestimate the courage it took for you to reach this point. Listen carefully because this changes everything. The healing you have been praying for is not only about removing pain. It is also about discovering strength. It is about learning lessons that can guide you for the rest of your life. It is about realizing that even difficult seasons can produce wisdom, resilience, and compassion. There were times when you thought you were falling apart. Yet heaven reveals that in many ways, you were growing. The experiences that challenged you were also teaching you. The obstacles that frustrated you were also strengthening you. The delays that confused you were helping you develop patience and perspective. Stay till the end because what happened next changed everything. One day, a person who had spent years focusing on what they had lost suddenly noticed something remarkable. They looked at who they had become. They saw strength where there had once been fear. They saw wisdom where there had once been confusion. They saw gratitude where there had once been frustration. That realization transformed the way they viewed their entire journey. My beloved child, God reveals that healing often happens in layers. First comes awareness. Then comes acceptance. Then comes growth. Then comes peace. Each stage takes time. Each stage deserves patience. Each stage brings you closer to becoming the person you were meant to be. Listen carefully because this next revelation is powerful. The blessing hidden within your struggle was never the pain itself. The blessing was the strength you developed while moving through it. The blessing was the wisdom you gained. The blessing was the deeper understanding of yourself and others that emerged along the way. There is someone listening right now who feels discouraged because they are still facing challenges. God says, do not mistake a difficult chapter for the final chapter. Your circumstances today do not determine your entire future. Growth continues. Opportunities continue. New beginnings continue. Stay till the end because this changes everything. The healing journey has brought you to an important realization. You are stronger than you once believed. You are more resilient than you once imagined. You have survived challenges that once seemed impossible. Those victories matter, even if nobody else fully sees them. My beloved child, there is wisdom hidden within this message. Celebrate your progress. Appreciate the lessons. Be grateful for the people who supported you. Be kind to yourself when the journey feels difficult. Healing is not about perfection. Healing is about continuing forward with hope. Listen carefully because this is the most important revelation of all. God says, your value has never depended on your struggles. Your worth has never depended on your circumstances. You are valuable because you exist. You are worthy of care, respect, and compassion. And here is the beautiful ending heaven wants you to carry in your heart tonight. The person who began this journey feeling exhausted did not become perfect. They did not suddenly live a life without challenges. Instead, they discovered something even more valuable. They discovered confidence. They discovered resilience. They discovered that they could face difficulties without losing hope. The fear that once controlled them became smaller. The peace inside them became stronger. The gratitude inside them became deeper. And as they continued moving forward, they realized that healing was not a destination they would reach one day. It was a journey they were already living. So walk forward with confidence, my beloved child. Continue taking care of yourself. Continue seeking support when you need it. Continue believing that growth is possible. Continue recognizing the progress you have already made. Because one day, you may look back on this season and realize that it taught you lessons that shaped the rest of your life. It taught you resilience. It taught you gratitude. It taught you strength. It taught you hope. The ending of this story is not despair. The ending is peace. The ending is not weakness. The ending is strength. The ending is not fear. The ending is courage. And the ending is a reminder that even after difficult chapters, there can still be healing, growth, joy, and beautiful new beginnings ahead. Stay hopeful, my beloved child. The best pages of your story may still be waiting to be written.